San Antonio opens a center to prepare migrants for the workforce, and anticipation for President-elect Donald Trump's immigration agenda sets university students on edge. NT Daily starts now.
From the Mayborn School of Journalism at the University of North Texas, this is NT Daily News.
Good afternoon, I'm Martha Bratcher. San Antonio just opened the doors to a center that welcomes refugees and helps prepare them to enter the workforce. Alicia Neves reports on the Mother Teresa Center.
In a building off Summit Parkway that once housed UPS, refugees, many from Cuba and Venezuela, are learning to speak English.
People think they're coming from Mexico, they're crossing the border. The people that we see here mostly are the people who are coming from Afghanistan, that they came from Ukraine, from Russia.
The goal is to have all refugees working a steady job within 180 days.
We have factories, we have so many jobs, but we need to have people who are trained and certified to use heavy machinery. Restaurants who, in San Antonio allow people to speak Spanish, and they need meseros, they need people to serve tables.
From a food pantry to a baby boutique, to youth mentoring, to childcare, to teaching life skills.
So this is one of the three enterprises that we have, is sewing.
It's wraparound care. Even a legal department helps with work permits.
It's actually a really busy place.
Each refugee who walks through these doors was granted political asylum by the U.S. government. They're living here legally.
And I know that we have a new administration coming in February, but we really think that this is going to be here for many, many years. It's a very interesting times, but for us, it was the right thing to do.
Trump is planning a large-scale operation to detain and deport migrants during his second term. He has promised to deport millions of people starting on his first day in office. Razor wire put up by the state of Texas along the Mexico border cannot be taken down by the Biden administration. That comes from a ruling by a federal appeals court in November. Texas sued the Biden administration more than a year ago when border agents began cutting the razor wire. In January, the U.S. Supreme Court sided with the administration to allow removal of the wire, but the issue returned to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. The latest ruling went against the administration's arguments that the federal government has sovereign immunity to prohibit the lawsuit. The Department of Justice's approach to the issue could change once President-elect Donald Trump takes office. President-elect Donald Trump has announced his picks for two agencies that he says will help him carry out his plans for strict immigration reform, including mass deportations. Rodney Scott is Trump's pick to be Customs and Border Protection Commissioner. Scott is the former head of the U.S. Border Patrol. Trump also announced Caleb Vitello is his nominee to be the acting director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, known as ICE. Vitello currently works at the agency as the assistant director for the Office of Firearms and Tactical Programs. New York City's Democratic Mayor Eric Adams says he looks forward to working with the Trump administration in deporting undocumented migrants who have committed crimes. Adams spoke at a press conference on Tuesday. He shared that he had already asked to meet with Tom Homan, President-elect Donald Trump's new pick to be in charge of the nation's borders. Adams said that years ago, Democratic leaders like Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama supported deporting undocumented migrants who have committed crimes. As Donald Trump prepares to return to the White House, conversations about immigration are once again taking center stage. Keenan Penn spoke with some Wichita State University DACA students who feel uneasy about their future.
My degree doesn't translate to citizenship, As educated as I can be, I can't get employed.
The whole reason why we came here was for my education.
Yurit Pizarro and Grecia Esparza are both students at Wichita State University, now reflecting on the proposed plans of President-elect Donald Trump.
I remember when it first came out, I was reading, can he actually do that?
Of course it is scary. You don't know if you will even be able to finish your 4 years at college. As much as the university can do, it's how much can they really do?
Now feeling unsure of what the future may hold after the inauguration.
Legally, I have no control over. There's nothing I can do about it. I try to just live day by day and I'm here, I'm in college, I'm getting through. I'm trying to get my degree, and if that's what God wants, then that's what's going to happen.
Pizarro tells me that he and his family migrated to the U.S. on a visa when he was just 4 years old, but the document expired. He says that since then, he's made efforts to get new documentation like DACA, but says it's come with its own set of challenges.
And I've applied 3 times. I got my refund back twice. And then now, the 3rd time that I applied, I'm in the system. I can log into USCIS and check my case report, but it's all been pending since December 2020.
He says that those challenges have only added stress to the experience of being a student.
I'm not eligible for FAFSA. I'm not eligible for work studies. I'm not eligible for employment. I'm not eligible for Pell Grants.
Wichita State University does have resources on campus for students who are undocumented. Students say it's given them a safe haven when they need it. The International Student and Scholar Services at UNT is preparing students for any possible changes to immigration rules. The director, Lauren Jacobson Bridges, says immigration policies are always evolving. Most are hard to change. She says the off-campus work authorization called Optional Practical Training, or OPT, would be hard to remove. Students who are in F1 and J1 immigration status should stay in touch with their office to avoid misinformation. The office reports any changes that can affect students' immigration status. Texas Governor Greg Abbott met with Donald Trump's pick for border czar, Tom Homan, at the Texas Forward Operating Base in Eagle Pass. They served meals to officers stationed at the border over Thanksgiving. Homan vowed to finish Trump's work at the border and spoke about mass deportations.
Let me be clear. There is going to be a mass deportation because we just finished a mass illegal immigration crisis on the border. It's a felony to knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien to immigration authorities. Don't test us.
Homan is the former head of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE. In November, President-elect Donald Trump confirmed his plans to use military assets for mass deportations. Republican government officials have different opinions on the issue.
If you say, I'm only going to enforce these laws and not the others, what's going to happen is these criminal elements are going to exploit that, whether it's single adult males, whether it's children, whether it's families, they will exploit our policies. So I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to say, we're going to treat everyone the same and we're going to start enforcing laws.
I would say all points bulletin, all in, but you don't do it with the Army because it's illegal. We've had a distrust of putting the Army into our streets because the police have a difficult job, but the police understand the Fourth Amendment. They have to go to judges. They have to get warrants. It has to be specific. And so I'm for removing these people, but I would do it through the normal process of domestic policing.
Officials say that using military assets for mass deportation should be a last resort. The number of undocumented migrants crossing the southern border fell in November. According to a senior U.S. official, the U.S. Border Patrol arrested around 47,000 migrants along the U.S.-Mexico border last month. That is down from more than 56,000 migrants who were arrested in October. Homeland Security officials have credited the Biden administration's executive action on immigration for the dramatic decline over recent months. That's all for this week. I'm Martha Bratcher. NT Daily will be back again next week.